Hello, everyone. Great to see that you've turned out in such great numbers. Last year, we had a similar event on February 6th, and we had this great launch video to kick things off, and the audience was fully excited when I hit the stage before I even uttered my first words. This time around, I had Roel as my hype man, and for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to be claiming your attention and headspace to walk you through what we've done over the course of the last year, but also a glance forward towards the remainder of 2026. Because we've got, some really exciting stuff in the pipeline that we believe is also important for you to really grasp and understand to set yourself and your organization up for success in 2026. So it feels like a long time ago, this launch, but actually it's only been a year. 364 days to be precise. So tomorrow is Halo's birthday. We won't be sitting around celebrating. We'll be churning out new releases to make our clients and our partners and prospectives happy. And let's just take a look at what's in the pipeline and what we've developed last year. So we took a unique approach when we launched our agent platform. We were one of the first to do this. So we had 2023, right after the ChatGPT moment, was this year of GenAI pilots. So think about a translation, a code completion, simple stuff. And we were there to meet the moment to, for example, generate some utterances for an intent for a conversational AI platform. And then 2024, that was the year of RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, sometimes also more simply put, retrieve and augment. Basically, easy to set up chatbots that work in any modality and any language based on your internal knowledge on a retrieval mechanism. And then 2025 was finally this year when agents came to fruition. And when we launched it, we weren't just one of the first, but we had that unique approach. Now, what's that unique approach? We stepped away from traditional drag and drop flow builder interfaces because we believed that at some point in time, AI was going to become better than ourselves in generating these agent instructions. And of course, text is infinitely malleable. So if we just allow these instructions to be available to our AI systems, over time, the system could become self-developing and prompt itself up towards its next generation. Now, ever since, other parties have hit the scene with sort of a similar approach. We're seeing more startups nowadays that take this angle as well, and we see that as a compliment. What we also did is ship a lot of tools out of the box. So in the early days, you would hear people talking about prompt engineering. Nowadays, everyone talks about context engineering. It's not just the instruction, it's all of the information that you have on offer for these agents to actually properly execute a task. Customer data, knowledge that you need, this all needs to be included and put before these models for them to truly excel. And we had these nifty out of the toolbox tools to, for example, retrieve profiles from our CDP or other relevant context at the right moment. So last year, we primarily took a look at what things look like from a back-end perspective, if you will. The creation of experience, how you set up an agent, how you connect your knowledge, how you set up your tools. But let's also take a quick glance at what this looks like from a consumer perspective, because throughout the day you hear these customer cases and great automation rates of 60% here and 73% there and 91% somewhere else. But of course, you don't just want to automate stuff at the detriment of your customer. You want to also increase whatever it is you track, customer satisfaction, customer effort score, net promoter score. So this experience that the end user, the individual that you cater to gets is equally important, if not more. One click back, and there we go. So this is an example of a little store that we run and operate ourselves called Club Mall, where we sort of expose the latest features additions to our platform. And what we're going to do here is fetch a profile from, in this case, my colleague Bart, and who's going to have a conversational shopping experience on WhatsApp. Now, Halo from the start was what we refer to channel agnostic. So WhatsApp is a great example, but we also do RCS, SMS, of course, telephony, voice, WhatsApp voice, Facebook Messenger, Instagram messaging, you name it. So you make your agent once and you deploy them across all channels with a click of a button. So here on WhatsApp, you can finally see sort of this experience coming to life of the conversation being a mature interface, something you can interact with in a natural way with something that you've been able to do since about 2-3 years old, which is just talk. It comes natural to everyone, and you can have the experience that you would have on a website for products or services just as well. So in this interactive experience, it's not just asking a bunch of questions and getting some content back based on products that you may have or knowledge that you have. You can also provide your own inputs to refine what these agents are putting towards you. So we're going to upload a picture from Bart's phone and provide some input on the actual styling of what he's looking for, starting out with a simple text instruction to sort of refine his search for new clothes. And as you can see, based on his profile, his personal attributes, we already supply this nifty experience with a picture, a rich experience on chat that you can actually use to browse products or services. And as I said, once you launch an agent, it is immediately multilingual, but also multimodal. So that means text, images, audio, all done with one simple deployment. So we're going to take it one step further. With an upload. So if you want a real personal experience and refine this, in this example, we're going to ask, does it also fit the genes that I already have? Now, of course, this is an e-com example, but this applies across verticals. Whether you're in insurance or in another industry, there's always something unique about the person on the other end that allows you to bring them to the right point of what it is that you actually want to sell or service towards this customer. So that's an example of a front-end experience. Now, let's take a look back at the agent experience, creating an agent. So this is super simple. Here I give a small instruction on what I want from this agent. I upload a document with some context of what it is I'm looking for into the assistant that we have in our platform, and it's going to construct an agent for me. So I think in one of the keynotes you've heard about vibe coding, so someone who's not technical, having code created for them by AI on their behalf. This is a similar concept. So agents and tools being created for you based on a simple spec that you share with our product. And we get a full-fledged agent with working tools that reads context from our platform, so it's aware of the channel that we're going to be active on, which is in this case the phone. It's going to know my number, so it can address me personally, and I can tweak some settings to make sure I'm all good to go. So in this case, it's voice. We've got some new voices also live today. As you can see, my esteemed and professional colleagues have made a beautiful label for my name. For those of you who missed it, apparently I like long walks on the beach and listening to conversations. And what we're going to do now is something untested, and I'm going to make some people in the development team nervous. So sorry about that, because this was like a super recent release, I think, yesterday or even later maybe. And I set something up with my own voice. This is a bit of a gimmick. It's a quick voice clone, and I'm going to give myself a call. So this is going to be very meta.
Hey there, partner. It's me.
Hey, who's me?
Hey, it's me talking to me, Rutger to Rutger. That's the whole gag here. You're the human version. I'm the Halo-based CM.com.
All right. Hey, tell me a couple of things about CM.com.
Yep.
Let's check the
Hey,
audio.
me talking to me again. Let's.
Tell me a few things about CM.com.
Yeah, I know I'm talking to you. That's literally the bit. Me talking. Right, straight version, no fluff. We own the full conversation stack. CPS, all the channels, SMS, WhatsApp, RCS, voice, email, push. CCAS, agents on top of those channels. Conversational AI cloud, all Halo, the brain that orchestrates bots, agents, workflows. We're built for context, not channel spam. CDP stitches, identities, events, and profiles. Recommender models per customer.
So there's a little delay on the audio line, and what you just witnessed is actually a feature called barge-in. So you can interrupt the agent as it goes. But to do so, it's of course important that you have real-time audio, and this jack was not up to par, so it got interrupted by my speaking as we went on. But the funny part here is the agent flow that I just set up, so the 5 lines of text, a quick upload of a document, selecting a voice, was literally all I did to prepare this demo. It was 5 minutes this afternoon to just show how easy it is to bring something to a production. And of course, when you really go to production towards your clients, it's important that you take a bit more refined approach than I did, but it goes to show what's capable and what's possible today if you use the art of the possible. Now, the message that I want to get across today is this important message, is that AI runs on context, and that's why we believe in our unified platform offering. So, as you could hear my own voice bot explain, we own the full stack. That means we have marketing orchestration software, contact center software. I already showed you in one of the demo videos our customer data platform. And we do all of the channels and further integrations with your entire application landscape. This is important because we want these agents to be able to access every crevice, every nook and cranny of our software to get all of the context that you have about your organization and its operations out and into the agent so it can give a personalized and textured and contextualized experience. But this CDP, we've been doing that, I think, top of my mind since 2012. And we believe that this category of software is going to be completely overhauled. So the CDP is one example of a system of record for customer data, but there are many such examples in the market. CDP, CRM, customer intelligence platform, see this, see that, see whatever. So, which is exactly what we want, is to see whatever, not just a single point of view from the customer perspective. Now, why is that? In any system of customer record, all of your other data points become sort of a clunky bolt-on. So I'm not going to name names, but I know for a fact that there are people in this room, in this audience, that abuse their system of customer record to get other data in just because they want to have it unified. So physical locations will be in the customer system of record and employees listed as a customer. It ruins your point of view, it ruins your reporting, and it's just not up to the task to completely map out all of these other attributes that you want to map. So what's next? If the category of CDP, CRM, customer intelligence platform is all going to die out, what's the actual replacement? Well, we don't just want something that can bring it all into one place, but we also want this to be super scalable. Because in the age of AI, agents are going to be supplementing the system with information, talking to your customers at scale, perhaps 100,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever the scale of your company is. So we believe that we've got the future for this category in our hands, and you'll hear more about this in the market, more buzz in the coming weeks, months, perhaps the full year, about such platforms. I've already heard like CRM-X, which would stand for CRM, but then for context, other names, agentic customer platform, Everyone in this space is waking up to the fact that we need something new. And the new thing is storing all of this information, every entity in your company, as a graph, so that we can traverse this graph and look at all of the information that you have from a particular angle. So if you want to drive traffic towards a certain physical location, you need to know something about the actual physical location, but also the clients that you have in proximity to it. But there's a lot more that goes on in your company. You might have other assets, physical assets like devices or perhaps vehicles. You've got employees. There are all these types of things that you want to map out and be able to take that point of view. Look from the physical location or look from the vehicle towards the customer and not continuously always the other way around and use the customer record as a bolt-on. So you can see hello, AV. Yes. This is a joke I always make. We will solve AGI before we solve AV. It's the same thing everywhere. ClickShare, professional setups like this. AI will be solved first. Anyways, you can see who's subscribed to what service that you have on offer, what products are people buying. You don't need AI for this anymore in this new category to ask a simple question like, okay, people who bought X also bought Y. You can simply look it up in a graph and answer questions that you currently cannot answer. So if someone asks, what's the nearest location to me and is it open? You can just answer the question for the customer because we know who they are, we know your physical location, we know its opening hours. All this information can be easily mapped out. But we're not going to stick with just this reinvented platform where you can map all of your entities. We've also been working on something that I'm super proud of, which is a true piece of innovation. So this is a custom neural network that we here at CM made, and that's fully integrated with this new data platform. So it sucks up all of that data that goes in and automatically trains on it uniquely for you per tenant. So every customer of CM gets their own database, and they get their own unique neural network running just for them, producing outputs that surpass what we currently consider in the industry for marketing recommendations and that type of stuff, the industry standard. So to just visualize this a bit, what are we talking about when we mean ingesting all information? Well, not just customer info, but every single event that we can get our hands on. Also, actively mined by agents. So if you have customer conversations, those conversations, the pieces of text in that conversation, is an absolute gold mine. But these are absolute gold mines that probably everyone in the audience is leaving largely untouched. It's filled with information about preferences, about sentiment, about objectives towards the future. And these pieces of text and these phone calls, we have them, and then they just float away, and we ignore them. So we're going to take the shovel, and we're going to actually hit the vein and get the gold out. So all of this information flows into the data platform, automatically syncs with this neural network that we train on your behalf, and we can predict what channel do we need to deliver a message on, what works best for this particular person. Also, at what time do we need to do so? What content should be in this messaging to truly get them engaged, get them converted, and achieve what it is that you want? And also monitor contact frequency a little bit. You don't want to overpressure people, of course. And these variables, they all interact, and in a unified model, we can keep them all in context and make sure that we get the right message at the right channel at the right time, not too little and not too often. And that's where results really start to shine. So again, something I'm super proud of, because I know for a fact that there is no literature on such model architectures, and what we've done here is truly, truly unique. So both of these products are in alpha at the moment. We're going to move to beta pretty soon. So for those of you interested, do not hesitate to strike up a conversation with the people here. And in the second half of the year, this will become generally available. And the important thing, again, to take away is you need to organize your data differently in 2026 if you want to extract the maximum capability out of these models. This is a tale as old as time. People have used to say this about AI way back when it was the statement, excuse my French, shit in, shit out. Things have not changed in this respect. We just don't have systems yet that are up to the task, but that won't last much longer. But it has another purpose. So we've now seen how we bring all that information into such a data platform, how we can train a network to make accurate predictions and recommendations to engage with your audience. But we don't just want to reach your audience, we also have these agents that we want to supply with information and learn from them. So aside from these agents being able to retrieve all this context, for example, a review that a person left about your company, a relation that they have because they reside within the structure of a family or a company, all of that information is up for grabs, and we can also put the information back in. So we give this contextualized outreach, and once the agent learns something new about the person you're interacting with, as long as you have consent, of course, for the people in legal departments, you can put all of that information that gets learned back in. And note that on the left-hand side, we've also got those predictions that we made earlier and recommendations coming in as new information. So these agents are aware of, is this customer likely to churn? Yes or no? Is this customer likely to buy? Yes or no? Have they been contacted a lot in the recent period? And all of those feedback loops, that's exactly the benefit that you get when you put everything in one platform and work with sort of a central nervous system for AI. I think a good analogy for this is sometimes referred to as the Frankenstack. So if you have a patchwork of applications in a multi-vendor landscape, that's called the Frankenstack. You sort of take tools from 80 different vendors and then you put AI on top and it should magically work. I don't know who of you has seen the remake of Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro, but Frankenstein is this miserable creature that's really slow and actually prefers to die. And you take limbs from multiple people, you bolt the brain on top, and of course what you get is not a beautiful, polished end result. If you do it in one platform, you can sort of step away from that patchwork, bring it all into unison, and really make strides to get the appropriate end result, but also just to move more quickly and lower your total cost of ownership. Now, if this message hasn't sort of resonated with you throughout the course of this event yet, it definitely will by the end of this session. AI is our core business. Not just our core business, but towards the future, this is all you're going to be hearing about at events like these. This thing is not going away. It's getting better month after month, year after year, and it's important for us to be aware of that to properly serve you, but also for you to be aware what your position is in this total picture. Your company, in all probability, is not going to become the next OpenAI, or the next Anthropic, or the next Google DeepMind, or the next Microsoft, or Salesforce, or CM.com for that matter. There are people in this landscape who facilitate these types of activities for you. But it's taking up such a core position in what it is you do, because we're essentially talking about digital labor here. So we're talking about your new labor force, if you will. You do want, of course, control over your own business and not get too many dependencies on players like ourselves. Now, we are sympathetic to these concerns, so we're making a few strides forward in this respect to bring our customers at ease and make sure that they understand but can also validate and check that we are a trusted party in this respect. So a couple of weeks ago, we received this piece of paper, which probably says nothing to the most of the people in the audience, but it does to us. So this is a certification for ISO 24001, specifically for AI management systems. Now, when we started for the certification, there were 50 companies globally who had it. Just to put it in perspective, if you take ISO 27001 for information security, there are well over 65,000 of those certifications out there. And most of these 50 organizations were like consultants, I don't know, Deloitte, name a couple of other big ones. So not really tech platforms, so that we were really new when we achieved this. And the audit process was months on end, where they reviewed all 34 models and counting, because I just showed you a new one, that we use in the end-to-end service, all of the data sets that we use, all of the pipelines, how we deal with this data safely, how the models are operated safely. And we finally got this stamp of approval to not just be a company, because you'll see this a lot, that talks about trusted AI, trustworthy AI, safe AI. People advertise with it, take out entire newspapers to show you how trusted they are. But it's important to also validate this with third parties and actually prove that this is truly the case. So also something we're super proud of and nifty to bring towards your compliance and legal departments if you want to get going with AI. They'll love this stuff. But we want to take this a step further, because aside from just us being licensed to operate with our software, we believe that towards the future, we're going to see a bit of a shift. So I mentioned Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, a bunch of other companies, and these make what you call closed source models. So they give you an API, you can use it, but you can't actually see or touch the actual model. Alternatively, there's this entire space called open weights. These are models that get trained and get published on the internet. You can download them, you can fine-tune them to your own use case and actually use them. Now, the important thing to understand is that there's a continuous gap of about 3 to 9 months between what's available in closed source and what gets made available in open weights. And if we look at the frontier of AI, we're looking towards models that are accelerating up to a point of intelligence where we're talking about models with like Einstein, Newton level intelligence. Now, of course, most of what we do in the operations of a company does not require Einstein or Newton level intelligence. So logically, over time, as that 3 to 9 month gap gets filled in the open weight space, you'll be looking at a situation where you'd probably prefer to take open weights models served either directly or by companies like us that can get fine-tuned to your particular company, so truly your own AI, and of course, host it safely. But for that safe hosting, you need a lot of CapEx build-out. Everyone reads the news, reads about billions and trillions of dollars going into AI. We're not going to be building out billions or trillions anytime soon. So I'm also very excited to announce a new partnership that we're going to be doing with Volt. So Volt, and I want to make sure that I give these people a proper shout out, the people working there, but also the daring entrepreneur behind this company, are sort of bringing the future of AI home to Europe, in fact, in the Netherlands here on home soil. So we're talking gigantic scale AI data center facilities right here, where we can actually take a car, drive up to it, and check that everything is okay. So this will be a joint effort between Volt and ourselves. They supplying the GPUs, like the heavy lifting infrastructure, where we supply the software and the actual AI in an end-to-end partnership where perhaps more risk-averse verticals, so think about banks, insurance companies, healthcare providers, today can already get some comfort and actually start pushing forward with AI, because currently these types of organizations are quite restricted by risks, rules, regulations in terms of what they can do. But even if you're not in those types of industries, this is an important thing to think about towards the future. Because of what I said of that shift from closed source to open weights, you will all in the future find yourselves in a situation where you would prefer to fine-tune models to your specific company, your unique AI, your unique digital labor force, and have that deployed securely. So to share a bit more about this joint sovereign service, we have a special guest in the audience today as well. So I would like you all to give a very warm welcome and round of applause for the Chief Technology Officer of Volt, Roland. Sorry.
Thanks. Thanks for
All right.
the warm welcome.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to open up for business in the second half of 2026.
Yeah.
Really excited about that. But perhaps you could walk the audience through behind the reasoning why you think it's important to already strike up a conversation about efforts like these today and not in half a year.
Yeah, so maybe to give a little bit of background. So our initiative is also part of a lot of European subsidies. So we're part of the Euro HPC tender. And we have been mentioned in the recent report of Peter Wenning, which was presented last December.
Yeah.
And as part of this effort, we are planning to build an AI gigafactory in the Rotterdam area. We have power and land secured over there. And before that, that's still a long journey ahead. We're planning to build an intermediate facility in the Amsterdam area. And where we're talking about now is an AI mini factory, which we're working on today. And this AI mini factory, it's a full fit out in our own data centers, run by Volt as a Dutch entity. And we aim to deliver GPUs as a service up towards the model, towards the market. And this is, I think, also the interesting collaboration with CM, so that we are actually able to end-to-end deliver a sovereign AI service and the products of CM to the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
And perhaps as a follow-up, why is it interesting for you guys to work with CM.com specifically for these efforts to go to market?
Yeah, obviously, we need to build our platform. We want to make it fit for purpose. We want to understand, obviously, what kind of workloads, what kind of challenges, what kind of frameworks and other challenges you guys are facing, or CM is facing, or other partners we're talking to. So we're opening up in the second half of 2026 for a select group of partners and launching customers, if you will, to basically start shaping this platform in a way that it's fit for purpose and is able to deliver sovereign compute for our needs.
Right. I shared a couple of things about why I think sort of this transition to at least be able to operate sovereignly is important. You've been innovating in this space for most of your career.
Yeah.
In your own words, how would you describe why this is sort of a next big thing for everyone?
Yeah, looking to all the stories today, the questions. So I think AI, it's not a hype anymore. We're doing it, so super exciting. Even my kids have a new best friend called Chat. They almost go to bed with it. So that's on the AI side. And the other side is obviously, if you look at what Peter Wenning also said in his report, currently in Europe, we only have 5% of the worldwide AI compute capacity on our soil. The rest of this capacity is either in the US and China. I think we're all watching the news daily, and we've been waking up in a bit of a new geopolitical situation. So I think this also stresses the urgency, and that's also what we see in conversations we have with insurers, healthcare, and even companies maybe processing less of this information, but also are looking for ways. Do we need to expand in these US clouds, or are there alternatives?
All right. I'm super excited. So again, 2026, for those people who are interested, we'll launch some joint offering.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be loads of fun.
Thanks. Yeah, and obviously feel free to reach out. So if you think we can be of help in delivering sovereign AI and compute to you, we're more than happy to learn from you and get the conversation going.
All right. Thank you, Roland. Warm applause for him. So, talking about reaching out, I have a QR code here and an email address that you can all hit up if you're interested in talking about one of these topics. So one more time, so this is sort of the major takeaway that you all take home today. The old age tale of shit in, shit out is still true, and it's key for you in 2026 to get your data in order. CDPs won't be up to the task. CRMs won't be either. We need this new breed of platform to get things done. And it's a good reminder to look at your landscape more broadly, how your agents are going to interact with these systems, and if it would be wise for your organization to perhaps take a more unified approach. Now, I never do rehearsals or dry runs. In fact, I finished my slides about 5 minutes before I started. So we're going to finish a little ahead of time with 7 minutes left on the clock. But I've shared what I wanted to share with you today. I want to thank you for your attention. I hope you have a lovely remainder of the event and your day. And we hope to see you all here, and for the people on live stream also next year, when we'll repeat this event once again, and perhaps some stuff in the middle as well. Thank you a lot.